Hello again, class. So this time we will be talking about forms, how to put forms and how to configure them using CSS. A little bit of that, um, and how they work. Okay. So basically, forms is a way to collect information from visitors. Like I'm sure every time that you applied for a Gmail or maybe you're like getting concert tickets, you have to fill up a form, right? It allows the visitors to interact with the UI, okay, and it allows visitors to control what they see in a website. No, so you can choose because of forms. You can change, for example, your dark mode. No, sometimes you can. It's basically CSS. You want something in dark mode, so there's this toggle switch that you can tell your website or your app that it will change. No, so you are controlling the way that you see something. So the form is made up of the tag form, opening and closing again. Now there are attributes that we need to understand. We have the action. Okay, so the action tells you, and this is the name of uh, a file. No? There are different types of file. Usually, it's a PHP file. When you gather forms, you're going to get data in sets. No, the variable name and the value. Okay, and they get transmitted over the internet, and this has to be um how do you call it now? It has to be reconstructed. Okay, on on the server so that it will understand what was transmitted to it. No? And usually it is a script, and .php is a script type of um, of a file, and then we also have .js. We have several types, no. So in this example, it will go the form, whatever. When somebody submits the submit button, when somebody clicks on the submit button, it will now transfer all the data into this file. Okay, so the rest of the inside of the form, the rest of it is that goes inside here. Okay, so very important, class. No, you open it with a form, close with a form, and make sure that the action goes somewhere. Okay, if you leave it blank, it will not go anywhere. It will just um, refresh the page. Okay, there is another attribute called method, no? And there are two values: post and get. No? The post is the normal one you want to use when you are sending stuff over the internet. It will keep it will not show the variables, no, in the header. Um, but you can also use, sorry, there's also a get, no, down here. There's also a get when you want to check stuff. You want to see that the variables are actually being transmitted. So me, when I'm playing with the website and I want to see if it's working correctly, I use the get method. But you will want to change it to the post method when you actually make it go live. Okay, so let's go to our first. So let's talk about. So we'll talk about what goes inside here, and the first element is the input. So an input, there are many types of inputs boxes. Now the first one is the text input, and this looks like this. You have a label, and then you have the input box. Huh? So this is what it's going to look like. Input. Huh? Now, as I said, there are many types. We have the text type. So input type equals text, and it's going to show you this. That's what it's going to show. There are different types, no, depending on what you need. There is a number, there's email, there's telephone, password, date, time, color. No, so before we used to have to create scripts but to show date, time, and color. Now it's all automatic on HTML. No, you just tell the type to be a date. It will open a calendar. If you do a time, it will show you a clock. No, and then color. You can There's a color picker. No, of course, when you do password, it's all the asterisks, etc. No, so if you tell it to do email, it will expect when you try to submit, no, it will expect that it should look like an email. Same thing with number, no, it should be actually be a number. Otherwise, it's not going to accept it. So you have to choose the correct one, right? Okay, so what you need to do in every input or every field of your form is you have to give it a name. This is your variable name. Okay, so just like your algebra, no, x, no. So x is a variable. It can be any number. It can have any value, right? Now, so same thing with this. You have the name of the variable is first name, and it can have any value. And this is what you're asking your visitor to fill up, no? Give me your first name. And so what's going to happen? Let's say, for example, the name of your visitor is Bob, no? Bob now will be attached to this variable, no? So that's why if you notice, I said they come in pairs. It's going to be the variable name and the value. So if a visitor answers inputs the name Bob in this particular input, it will be transmitted to the to the form receiver, no, as a first name Bob. Okay, so there's another interesting attribute that you might want to use, which is called the placeholder. No? Placeholder will give a prompt inside the text box. Okay, like enter your first name, for example. No? So this is what it's going to look like. No, so first name, you type this. This something you type. It's a different thing. No, we nowadays we like to use label. No, label, and then this is now the input box. No, so whatever you put here will appear here. Okay, and if you want something to if you want a form element to be filled up, it cannot be submitted unless it's filled up. We call it required. You can type this required. So when you submit what they call this, when you submit a form, and it sees a required, it will not allow the form to continue until something is required. No? So let me try to do that first. Let's visit our HTML. So I'm going to start with a form. No? Action equals okay, action equals form intake. I'll just call it the form intake. And yeah, intake.html. Okay, so that means to say, when I click the submit button, it's going to go now to this form, this page. No? We will create that, right? Okay, so I will close the form. Okay, and I'll do the method called post. Okay, and I will now put a label, and then I will say first name. Close the label, and then I will have another one called the input type equals text. The name equals first name. Okay, let's do required. Okay, and then we will also have a submit button. No? Let me just check. Yeah, sorry. The input, it's an input also. Input type equals submit. And then the value. This is what it's going to be. But we'll put there equals. Let's just say submit. No? Oops. There we go. Okay. There it is. Okay, let's see what it looks like. It will look like this. There you go. First name and the submit. So if I try to submit it, there it will because it's required, because we said it's required, it's now going to go to, it's going to show this one. Okay. Now I want to make another page, the intake form intake page. Just create new. I'll save it right away. For give us okay form intake L, and I will just write here now H1. You know what? Let's just put the HTML so that this is just for sample, guys. So I will not put everything here. Thank you. H1, and I will put a P. We receive your message successful. Okay. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Save. So when if I put my name here, let's say for example, name, right? There you go. And I will click on submit. Then it goes to the form intake. There. Okay. Now, of course, you don't want to have something like this. No. Now you don't. The only way to go back is to go to this one. You need also your navigation bar. Everything. It should look like a page, talaga, no? So let me just go here and show you that we can also add a placeholder. No, see here, no? So I'll say placeholder. Enter your name. And maybe you don't even have to do this anymore because it's obvious. But you know, maybe you want to just look cool there. So you have this enter your name. So when you click on it, it just types. Okay, so that's the way that you want that. Okay, let's go to another type of input. Oh, you know what? Let me just show you. Maybe I'll just show you another one. Okay, let's do age. Let's do age, and we're going to take name is age, and I'm not going to put a place here. Nothing. I'm just in my. Okay, this is going to be a number. Okay, so I will save this, and when I view this there, okay, there's going to be this buttons. Later on we'll you know what, let's do it now. I like to format this a little, you know? So you notice that these are side by side, right? And we want to do this one after the other. So what I want to do is I want to put this inside a div, and I'll make it a class because I want to use it again and again. I will call this a form group. Okay. So inside my form group, there are two children. Inside my form group, there are two children, right? And obviously, you already probably know what I want to do with this. I'll make it a text box. Okay, there you go. Close the div. And then same thing, no? Here. And same thing with this one. This time, I don't have a first child. I will just make an empty div. And then in line with others. Okay, so I want my form group to be a text box. Form group text box. So display flex text direction. Yep. This. Now we want this on the same want this all on the same. Or you know what? I'll just make the body a little. Put some. Just put some margins on the body. Do margin 50 around. It's not for the yeah, that's let me see, where are we? Okay, we don't want it like this. No, we want all of these boxes to be on the same line. No, so I need I need to make this label the same size all the time, right? So I will just say label. Okay, I want my labels, all of my labels, I want them to have a flex. Flex. So because this is a because this is a flex box, no, we're not going to use width, we're going to use flex basis. This is the width, no? So I will use 100 pixels and then save that. And so now they're now all on the same line. So I'll show you. Let's color it so that you can see, no? Background color will be yellow so that we can see it. And there you're gonna see that that's the size. Now this one not working because you know it actually has some. So let's put a dot. We'll figure that out later. Oh, oh, sorry. You know what? Let's just do label instead. Sorry, that's right. But it will also be like 100 pixels. There you go. Okay, and then siguro we'll put no, we'll put like a margin at the bottom each group. Margin bottom 10 pixels. The body will make everything. Let's just make it big, no? So font size 15 pixels. Then let's do a font family. Just make it a sans serif. Okay. Okay. There you are. Okay. So let's take out yellow. What first dapat? There you go. Okay. That's what you might want to do, right? Like to make a form look very pretty, you do that, right? Okay, maybe you wanna play with this. You wanna play with that one. Okay, let's do let's play with that one actually. Okay, so what is that? That is our input. No, input text. Let's try. Input, right? Input, and then by in if you play the CSS Sushi, no, we can choose a particular attribute, text, for example, no, and we'll tell it in the text. Let's do a border. Let's do a background color. Okay, and then let's see what e e e e. Okay, and then let's make a rounded border radius. Okay. Will be 10 pixels. Okay, and maybe we want to increase the size of this one. Make it font, you know, font 16 px. Okay, is there anything that we want to do? We don't want borders. Tanggalin natin yung border na not best border, no? So border none. Let's take out the border. Okay, what else do we want to play with? And then we'll put a padding around it. So let's do this first. Let's see what it looks like there. But let's put the padding all around para it look thicker. No? So we'll put a padding. Maybe we'll do 10 pixels all around. Pixels all around. And Look how different it's gonna look. Nice, no? Okay, so look at this one. Our if this is a flex box, it's on the flex start. So we want everything in the same level. I don't know if you want to do that. So let's do a form. Okay, let's do a align. What is align items? Line items will be center. Okay, here you go. See, nice, no? Now this is a number, so all we need to do is just add that also to our here, no? So I'll make a comma, and then I will, let me say, pati ito, pati yung next one, gawin mo rin. So I will say number. Even the number now will be okay. There. So let me now move to the other, this one called radio buttons. So radio buttons basically are single choices, no? Male, female. So it should looks like this, no? Input type equals radio, and the name should be the same because you're gathering the same data for just one particular um, what is a variable name, no? Now the what they call this, so it's a radio type, and this is the name, parehas lang gender, no? Same name, but the values are going to be different, no? If somebody clicks on this, the value is going to be M, and if somebody clicks on this, the value is going to be F. Regardless of what the label is going to be, um, this is going to be the value, no? There, so I can do. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Let's experiment, no? So um, yeah. So I'll just use spans. Um, we'll do it like this. We'll do another form group. So it's so nice that you have classes. You just keep using it again and again, right? Okay. So the label is going to be we call this maybe skill level, no? Skill level. Yan. Okay. And then the input now, our input is going to be a text box, right? A radio, call this radio button. Huh? So input type equals radio. There you go. And then the name is going to be skill. And then I will have a value, no? Maybe the value just for me, it's going to be 1. Okay, that should be it. Okay, I need to put now I need to put a name by it, no? So I'm going to use a span para magkakatabi siya. It will force it to be katabi, no? We'll call it like beginner. Yeah, and then I'll close the span. Okay, let me just let's look at it and see what it looks like. It's gonna look like there. Okay, and let's make 3 of those. So I will just continue this. One is going to be 2, and this is going to be like intermediate, and the last one is going to be a value of 3, and we'll just change this to like a master. Okay, save, and there you have it. There you have 3 now. Now maybe one, if you want something to be originally checked, no, you can do something like this, no, checked. So maybe if you want to start with say right now there's nothing checked, no. If you wanted this level 1 to be checked by default, then you can type here check, not checked. Checked. There you go. Okay, save and refresh, and you see there. That's the default. Okay. Okay, let's do another one. This time, let's do the check boxes. Okay, these are check boxes. So if if radio buttons are for single selections, the checkboxes naman are going to be for multiple. You can click multiple of those, right? So you can do that uh, by we can do that by having several of those. Okay, so let's try to do that. Let's try to do one of those. Okay, so okay, sorry, I will just show you the code for it. Okay, so this one is going to look like this. So input type, they're all input type, and this time is checkbox. Okay, and then again they have the same name, and but now the values and the labels are going to be different. Values. Okay, so that's what we want to do um, here. Okay, so let's try this one. Let's create another form group. Okay, and then let's do again a label. Will be um, we call this okay, let's call it genre. And then we have now another div. I want to put several stuff kasi inside eh. We'll have a div. There you go. Tama ba? Oh, okay, let's give it a class. Will follow. So maybe this is something new. I will say div, and the class is going to be, let's call it a form row, no? Form. You know what? You know what? Wag mo na. Let's just see how this is going to go, no? And now I'm going to do one. It's going to be like an input. Okay, let's put input type equals checkbox. Name equals genre. And then value equals horror. Let's just make it HOR. 3 letters, no? And then we'll put a span. Horror. Okay. There you go. Let's see what happens. Okay, there you go. Let's try a second one. Let's see if it works correctly. Comedy value M. I have a feeling that we need the div. But let's first how it looks. There. We want to do it one on top of the other. So I will, again, because this is a group, I'm going to put it now inside the div. Again. So every time that you want to group stuff, not put it inside a div. I'll give it a class. I still don't know if I want to give it a class, but let's do it already. Let's call it form row. Okay. And these are these fields. Okay, these are the two. Okay. And then we'll do div. And then another form row, div class equals form row. And we'll do it. Okay, let's see how this. No, I'm happy with it. Okay, so let's add more. Let's put the other ones. Say drama. Going to DRA drama. Then maybe other with the musical MUS. Yeah, and it's gonna like you can check. Same thing. If you wanted something to be originally checked, you can do check. So let's say, for example, I wanted the the horror to be checked by default. Let me refresh this one, and there, by default. You can do more than one. There. What else? There you go. Now, the select box is a little interesting kasi sometimes when this is like super long, like countries, no, you don't want to have like really long um a long list, no. Ubus na yung page mo. So we're going to put it into a select box. And the select box looks like this. There. So you have a select, that the tag is select, opening, closing, and then you have a name of something, no? Or the variable name. And then the options inside look like this. Option, close option, value, you give it a value, and then you give it a name. Huh? So you know what? I'm gonna copy this so that I don't have to do it. Now, guys, when you're copying, what do you call this? Text from somewhere, these quotation marks, they they do funny things. So I will suggest that you retype the quotation. So let's do this here. Where am I? Div. We want to do a. We want to do a form group. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't close it. Ah, no, this is it. What I like about Notepad++ is you can highlight the closing. It will tell you just the open. Okay, so I want to go to my div form group. Okay, div class equal form group, and close that. Make sure that we close it again. Okay, and then we now label region, close the label, and then this time we have another div like this. Ano mo na? It's a select pala. We'll do select. We'll do select, and name equals region. Okay, and then we close the select, and then now we put the option. This is what I'm saying now. When you copy options, the quotation mark wrong. It should look like a dittos. Okay, and then you can, let's stop. There you go. Another. Yeah. So we have select. We have the option, no? Value, and then the text that we. Okay, so let's this. Here we have it, no? Maybe you want it to look like that also. So let's include the select. Yeah, I think so. We'll include it here in this. So I will include also form group select. Okay, correct. So refresh. Have it. If you want it all the same size, let's give it a width. Let's give it a flex basis. Flex base 300. Are they all same size? I'm just playing around. I don't know. There you go. All this. Okay. What else? Yeah, looks pretty, no? If you want something to be selected by default, you just type selected. For example, let's take this selected, and then So it's selected by default. Okay. Okay, what else? Last na lang, I think it's the text. Yeah, the text area. No? So text area is like where you write messages. So this is what it's going to look like. No? And then you can, the text area looks like text area name and then the variable name. Okay, that's all you need to do. So let's try another one. Let's do a text area. Okay, and then we'll do same thing, label, and then we'll go what send us. Okay, and then we have now a text area. Text area. Baba, sorry, yes, text text area there, and then we also close the text area. So it's a so it's a no, huh? A open and close one. Okay, that's the only one that looks different, right? So let's take a look at it, and that's what it's going to look like. Huh? So you might say, Baduy sir, I don't like that. Can we also style it? No, of course. No. So the way that we want to style this, um, you know what? Let's do also. No, let's include that in the our over here. No? So aside from select, we'll also do text. So they're all uniform. No, that and it has this thing on it, and that's it. That's it. No? So that's what your they call this your forms can look like. Okay, so again, to summarize, the way that we made this go side by side is we created a form group, that one, so that the label, this one, and the input are side by side, and we can the reason why we wanted to put a make it a flex box is so that we can adjust the 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 aligning of the items. No? Kanina it was just all on top, right? So that didn't work quite. Okay, let's see. Um, okay, so these ones naman, um, what we did is what we just grouped them, no? Group them itong form row, no? We didn't really do anything with it, um, but just put a class just in case that we needed to make a text box uh, there. So each of them are grouped again. You want to group things together so that to move things around. And then we have our select and we have our message. No? So that's it. Now, maybe this is a question I will ask you to think about. No, what? Of course, we want to style this, right? Style the submit button. No? If I wanted to put this here on top, because I don't want it like this. Even the genre, no, the genre and the send us message, no. How would you put that on top? No? So think about it. Um, how would you? Everything is like on center, but this one and this one are you want it on top. Weird. So what I would do, there's many ways of doing. What I would do is I would give it a class, another class. So is label. Okay? So this label one is genre. Genre, I'll give it a class. I will call it top align. Okay. And the same class I'm going to use for send us. Because I'm targeting the label because it's the label. No? And because this is a flex box, how am I now going to make this one change the alignment? No? So I taught this the other week. You can guess what it is. The class is top align. So I'm going to use align self, align text, like text. Let me see if that's actually going to work. Here you go. See? So I targeted only this. That is goes to the top. Okay. Oh, now let's style this one. The last thing. No? I think what we need to do for this is we're actually going to style it totally differently. So input type submit. Okay. I will now do it on its own because it's totally different now. So I will go input um, type equals submit. Tama ba? Correct. Okay. And let's style it. So basically, what's the style? Do a background color. I don't have the variable colors here now, so I will just use the correct. I'm just gonna do hexadecimal now, but you're supposed to use what do you call this? You're supposed to use your variable colors, but it's very consistent. E94, E77. Okay. And then what else do we want to do? Maybe we want to put padding around, no? Let's color the text white. And maybe we'll make the font size big, no? Para kita, font size is 20px. What else? Make it bold. Font weight will be 700. That's bold. What else do we want to? Padding. Let's do a padding, no? The top and bottom are 10 pixels and 20 on the side. Okay, top and bottom 20, 10, left, right 20. What else do you want to do? I don't want a border. Take out the borders. Border none. What else pa? And then it's rounded, no? Border radius. We'll do 10 pixels. Okay, let's take a look. Here you go. Nice. You notice that when you go over it, the cursor doesn't change, no? Dapat it should look like a finger, right? Because it's going to, like this one, when you go over this, no, it becomes a text, yeah, diba? But this one, we'd like to make it a finger. So let's try to do it that when it is on, when your cursor is over it, when your cursor is over it, let's change the cursor to a pointer. No? Will this actually change? No, let's there pointer, right? Okay, so that's something also that you can do. Don't abuse the pointer, the cursor. You have many types, no? Baka naman you make abuso, no? CSS cursor types. So you have your default context help pointer progress. The weight, no? So baka you want to do weight. Don't want to do that. I'm just going to show you that you can actually do it. Here you go over it. No, it's doing that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, guys. Okay, so we'll do a what was it? Pointer. Pointer. Okay. There you go. Okay, I think that ends my my discussion for forms. Yeah, I think I'm on my last slide. Okay. So yeah, that's it. That is our lesson for um um, um forms. No, again, I will highlight the things that you need to understand. Make sure that you have an action that it's going to go somewhere, right? So for the origami one, for the origami website, it has to go somewhere. No, there's the instruction on guy. Method is post, okay, and yeah, everything else is just a text box. That's it. Okay, so that's the end of the lessons for embedding media in web.